shared this with you in a previous video and on my Instagram page. So basically what this is an embellishment book made using a Dollar Tree chopping mat and some Christmas cards, Snow and Cocoa Christmas cards that I purchased at Tuesday morning. I lined the outside cover with a card, and then I used cards to create the pages inside as well, and I used this ribbon as a closure for my book. So it's really simple to recreate, and really fun and an easy, fun way to use those cards that you have. I came up with this because I wanted to enter a Snow and Cocoa giveaway that's being hosted by Gina. She's Scrapinology here on YouTube and Instagram. And I don't have any Snow and Cocoa paper, but I do have tons of these cards. And really, I just have like scrap pieces of the collection. So anyway, I thought I'd use the cards to create a book. As you can see right here, this is what it looks like on the outside. I basically ran this ribbon all the way across the front and then just lined the front covers and the spine to cover that up, and that is my closure. And then you can choose whether or not you want to line the inside cover and front and back. I didn't line the back so that I could show you what it looked like, but I will be lining that because I think it'll give it a more finished look. I think it looks better covered up a bit. And so yeah, let's get to the tutorial part of this. So basically I used this scoring tool, and I grabbed my Dollar Tree chopping mat. It's about double this size. So I just cut this down according to the measurements of the cards that I will be using for the pages and for the lining of the cover. So I cut this down, and it's super easy to cut. It's you can use a blade, you can use this tool. I just used this tool to cut it down. I cut it down to 9.5 by 5 7/8, and then I scored it at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. And so I scored it on this side, and then I flipped it over and I scored it again at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. And the reason I scored it on both sides is because it makes that easier to fold and crease. And then I just go over it with my scoring tool and make that a nice crisp crease, or at least as crisp as can be, because this is pretty thick material. So that worked out pretty good. And then I made sure to round my edges with corner chomper, just to give it a cuter, more finished look. So that's the base of our cover. That's how simple it is to create that. Then I decided on what cards I was going to use for my inside pages. So I chose these two cards right here. And so what I did was, I wanted to have a 1/2 inch gusset on these cards. So based on the length of the card and based on that fold, that original fold that it has right in the center, I scored it at 4 and at 4 1/2, and that gives me my 1/2 inch gusset, which means that I can have 2 of those cards in here to fill this 1 inch spine. So again, I scored it at 4 and at 4 1/2, and that gave me my 1/2 inch gusset. These cards are 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. That's the measurement of these cards. And I did notice that some of these cards are bigger, some of them are smaller. So just make sure to keep that in mind. Make sure to measure according to your the cards that you are going to be using. So once I scored that and created my gusset, I folded these with the design on, or the pattern on the inside of my page. So the blank white piece is going to be the outside of my pages. So when you open the book, this is what you are going to see. And to hide that original center fold, I just added some washi. On this one, I added a thin washi. On my original book, I added a thicker washi that goes all the way down the center of that gusset. So it's just up to you, depending on what you have. You don't even have to cover it if you don't want to, but I went ahead and covered it on both of my pages. Again, if you decided to round these edges, make sure that you also round the edges of the cards that you're going to be using on the inside. So let me go ahead and do that to the second card because I haven't done that yet. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done that. Now we are going to adhere these two cards together to create our inner pages. Here is where we decide whether or not we want a pocket in the center. So we can adhere these two pages together and not have a pocket, or we can have a pocket here in the center and just close off the edges. We can have a pocket on either edge, so we would close off this piece right here and this piece right here. It just depends on what you want and how you want your book to be constructed, but this is already what it is looking like. So these will go attached to the spine. I just attached them with some double-sided tape, and that will be your book base right there. So I've gone ahead and attached those to the spine of the book, so it'll open up like so, and you have this white piece of the card. You can adhere it to the front cover and then it would just open up like this, or you can create a little mat for this page right here so that it's not white, and that gives you another page. So that's what I've decided to do for this book. I want to go ahead and add this piece of paper, and basically what I did is use another card and cut it down to size. This measures 4 by 5.5, and then I just rounded it on the bottom piece that is going to be adhered to this right here. So let me put some double-sided tape on this and glue that down. I'm just going to put this in the center just so it can be fast, and then I can add some liquid glue to that later. And basically I'm just going to line this up with the rounded edges. And there you go. Now you have the front cover done. So that'll open up like that. These will open up like that. And keep in mind, if you have a design, this side is going to be upside down, so it's up to you whether you want to use that. I'm okay with it because I plan to put embellishments on here, so I think it'll look cute either way, but you can cover that up if you'd like to. It's up to you. Or just use a paper that doesn't have a design on it. So that is the bones of your embellishment book. Now you can leave your embellishment book like this. You don't have to line the outside part, especially if you add a piece of paper to this piece because, you know, it's gonna show through, and that design is gonna show through. But for me, I want to cover it because I don't want to see that. I think it'll give it a better finished look if I cover it up with a piece of paper. I would do some stitching on this and then adhere it. The good part about these cards is that they all measure the same size. So once you have once you start on the lining, all you have to do is measure the width. So for example, this is a 1-inch spine, so I just cut a 1-inch piece off of one of the cards, and there's my spine. So then I would adhere this to the spine to cover that up. Again, if you're going to do stitching, make sure to do the stitching beforehand. If you're anything like me, you get excited and you forget to do the stitching. I do that. I've done that on so many projects, you guys. So that would just go like that, and you just want to make sure that it's lined up with the cards that are on the inside. And then for the front and back cover, you decide what card you want to use. This is the print that I've decided on. So basically I would just cut at that original score line or center fold. I would round the bottom edges and then just glue that or adhere that to there. So let me go ahead and do that. I've already rounded the edges, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it down. Sorry about that, I just got a delivery. Okay, so I'm going to line up that folded edge on my scoring tool or cutting tool. Cut that down, and now you have your front and back cover of the book. I'm just going to add some tape on here. Again, make sure to do your stitching. If you are going to add ribbon for your closure, this is where you would do so before adding these pieces. So let me do that really quickly so I can show you. I think on this book, I'm just going to use a bulldog clip for the closure. But this is where you would add your ribbon. So then you'd add your lining on top of that. Like so. Make sure it's in the center. I didn't do a good job of that, but you get the idea. You guys, everybody is home doing virtual school, and so I keep getting interrupted, so I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. So then that is your book, you guys. That would be your book. You would tie this up. Again, I plan on just using a bulldog clip, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And I'm just all over the place. We have the door open because we have the dog outside right now. So he wouldn't be going crazy while I'm trying to record this. But anyway, I wanted to use this bulldog clip to close that up, and basically that would be my book right here. Let me close that up. So that would be the book, and that's how easy it is. I hope this made sense to you. Like I said, I kept getting interrupted, and plus I'm new at making tutorials. So again, you can cover this up if you want to, especially if you're going to use ribbon for your closure. But those are your pages, you guys. It's really, really easy to create those gussets in those cards and create a little embellishment book. I hope that this inspired you to make something using those cards, and make sure to check out my previous videos so you can get all the information on my friend Gina's giveaway. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments section if you have any questions. I would gladly explain this to you. And yeah, I guess thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.